So time management. What do you guys know about it, other than you want more hours in the day? That's your solution. Well, we're not gonna. Sorry, we can't help with that. But if we could, I think it'd be something.
You need more hours or lack of sleep.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get the hours.
So basically, we all have 365 days a year, 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes in an hour. So it comes up to 1,440 minutes every single day. So how we spend it depends on how usually happy we are with our life. And you guys know that you got to balance all the things that are important to you, whether it is work or family or a loved one or having fun or whatever it is. You have your own set of priorities that you want to accomplish. And time management is really the way to get that done. We have to decide what's important and what we want to focus on. Otherwise, we're just going to be waking up every day and it's a struggle because we have no plan. So what I want to just share with you today is just a little bit of a way that we can go through that planning process and first think about even what time is to us. And you got to see it more like money than we do anything else. And so you can be broke on time, you can be broke on money, you could be broke on both. But the way to not be broke is to actually plan your time to get the money you need and then manage that money just like you manage time. So time management's been around forever. It helps people not be stressed out. You find more joy in life when you can figure out what you need to do and when you need to do it, what's important and why you have to make that a priority. And I'll just tell you, it's very hard. It's not easy. So you're right, it's not easy to figure out all the things we have to figure out to make our day go well and then also to make it effective. So we grow every day, so we're getting better more and more. But studies are proven that you increase your energy, it reduces stress, you get more goals done, you can prioritize, you accomplish more and less, you avoid procrastinating, saying I'm gonna get to this, I'm gonna get to that. You boost your confidence and you just feel better. And then you move ahead. You're gonna move ahead at school, life, everything. So we're gonna go through a couple things. We're gonna do hands-on, we're gonna talk a little bit about it. And the first thing I like to do is called a brain dump. So we're gonna use this, and I'm gonna tell you, talk to you guys real quick and just, what are some things that you feel like you have to get done today? What's on top of your list?
The life skills class.
Showing up here, right, so a class, life skills. What else? Me too, it's on my list.
Go to work.
Work, okay, and what time is that?
At 1:15.
1:15 to whenever, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta travel too, right? You gotta get ready, you gotta do all that stuff. Anything you gotta get done today, or wanna get done today?
Meeting was in there?
A meeting?
I already did that.
Okay, anything else?
No, today's my day off.
Okay, so do you wanna do anything fun? Is there anything you wanna do? You wanna watch a show? Do you wanna get on, so what do you wanna do on your day off? You wanna go to relax? You wanna watch TV? Nothing?
I did it all yesterday.
All right. So the first thing we do is it's called a brain dump, and you just put everything that's going on in your head and you get rid of it. So I don't know if you're like me, but if you go to bed at night and you have too much stuff running around in your head, we oftentimes can't sleep. And then we start thinking about all the things we got to do, what's coming next, whatever. So a good way to get rid of that, and the first time about time management is actually getting everything out of your head, what you have to do. So I know I have a list. I was working on my list today. It's about 15 pages, just the stuff that
I
goes
like
like
to
this.
try to get all my things done in the same day, so I have the next day off.
Yeah, I mean you could try that. But oftentimes we have to do things that take a little bit of time to get them done, though, right? Because you can't do everything always in a little bit of time. So once you get down your brain dump and you start saying this and say this is today, then what I like to do is time block. So you start right here, say this is you get up at this time, and then say you're going to bed at this time. And then there's all these blocks throughout the day. This is the middle of the day. We'll put this around noon. We'll put this at 5. So these blocks in the day that shoot out like this. So you know that right now you're in this little block right here. So this goes right there. This one, you know, is going here. So you got your work, and you're working until when?
8.
So that's going to go all the way down to here. So you know this right here is done for you. So now you've got to focus on this little bit of time here and this little bit of time at night. Now, if there's other things you know that you wanted to do or that were important to you, some people it might be going to the gym. Some people it might be visiting a loved one or a friend. Some people it might be going to a show. Some people might have school they're trying to get done. Some people might be into drawing or reading or social media or whatever it is. But you start figuring out all the things that you want to get done in a day, and then you just start blocking them out. And then what we have to do is, one, figure out what the heck we do with our time, because so much of our time, if we don't put it on paper and try to figure out what we're doing, we'll just waste it. And you guys have probably done this plenty of times, where you just waste a day. And there's nothing wrong with purposely wasting a day, but there's something wrong with just wasting days over and over again throughout your life, because then your life becomes pretty much a waste. But if we plan our day and say, okay, I really want to do this, then we got to make something happen with it. So there's two things that I've said before in this room that I want to do, and I've not done either one of them. And one was play the guitar. Now I've given up on that. I'm never going to do it. The second was learn Spanish. Now, if I learned Spanish, it would change a lot of things. But I've not done it. And you know why I haven't done it? Any guesses?
Haven't taken time for it.
I haven't not only taken the time, I haven't made the time. I haven't said I'm going to do this from this time to this time every day. I'm going to, get an app, I'll get a tutor, I'll start practicing, I'll do something. But I've never done it because I've never made time for it. And that's the same thing when we go to school, when we're trying to get ahead, if we're going to go to a new job, if we want to figure out a new skill, something like that. If we don't make time for it and then actually schedule the time, then it's not going to happen. So we've got to schedule time. If you've got a loved one, you need to schedule a date time. Otherwise, we always say, oh, we're going to go here. Or vacation. You want to travel somewhere. You got to plan it out, which means you have to not only set the date, but then you have to plan out how you're going to pay for it. So which means you have to plan out getting work and saving your money. And you're going to take that check and you're going to deposit this much. So it's all part of your schedule. That's all part of your day. So time management isn't just figuring out what we want to do. It's figuring out how we're going to get it done. So I want to learn Spanish, so I'm going to commit some time in my calendar to commit X amount of hours in a week to getting it done, so I can actually accomplish that goal. Otherwise, it's just sitting up there forever, and it doesn't make me feel good that I can't get that done. So you have to, one, know where your day is at, and I have to be able to realistically say, like with the guitar, you can't do everything. So you can't be all things to all people, and you can't do everything that somebody thinks you should do. You need to figure out what you want to do and then work to getting it done. One of the ways we do that is the brain dump. Second, we have to do an audit or a review of where we do spend our time. And most people today spend so much time on their phone that they'd be amazed how many hours a day, a week, a year, a month that they're never getting back doing something that we think's fun in the moment or that is so important in the moment, catching up with friends, seeing what everybody else is doing, posting, taking selfies, all that stuff. We're so caught up in it that part of life's passing us by. So you got to be careful with that we're always just checking it out and seeing what's happening, and it can become its own little leash on our life. So you got to be careful with that. You got to see where that's going. What other things do you think we might waste time with? Any guesses?
Sleeping all day?
That's one. I mean, yeah, you might sleep through things. Always time hanging out with friends. There's not wasting time, but you do it too much and you're just hanging around doing nothing. You're not going to accomplish nothing except hanging out. And that's okay, but you also have other things to do. If you want to get shape or you want to learn how to cook something, all those things take time. If you want to learn how to do any skill, it takes time. Even taking the time to be here, thank you for showing up. Hopefully you get something out of it. But the biggest thing should be that how do I get ahead and how do I make sure that I'm achieving the goals I want? And yeah, sleeping all day, you need to sleep. You gotta catch up with that, but fitness, faith, finances, family, friends, bunch of F's, your future. So the only way you get ahead in 2 years is by planning today. And the one way we do that is by figuring out where we spend our time. So this week, look at where you're spending your time and see if it's working out for you. Because you're either investing or you're spending. So when you spend, you never get it back. But when you invest, it pays a reward. So for me, I need to invest time into learning Spanish and practicing it so I get the reward. I could go spend time hanging out, doing something else, checking my social media, you know, watching a video or doing anything, and I'm spending time. I'm not doing anything to make myself better. But if I invest, I'm doing something for me, I'm doing something for my family, I'm doing something for everybody. Now you can spend time where it's meaningful. I have 4 grandkids. Every time I spend time with them, it's meaningful because I'm building into their life. I'm usually teaching them something, showing them something. Now, if I'm doing something wrong, I'm showing them the bad thing, right? So I'm modeling bad behavior. But that's not, to me, spending time. I'm investing time. So you gotta think through time that way. It's just like money. So then the next thing is, there's this thing called the Eisenhower matrix. I want to show you guys this one because I think it's pretty cool to be able to look at and see kind of what's happening. But you've got this president that was also a 5-star general. He came up with this matrix right here that helps us see what we need to do. And the quadrants are do, decide, delegate, and lead. So you got do, decide, delegate, delete. Okay. So delete, that was my Spanish. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I mean, not my Spanish, it's my guitar thing. I'm like, forget about it. So I take it off my list. I don't want to do it. Do, so now I'm gonna have to go, man, I really want to do Spanish, so I'm gonna have to go put it on my calendar, figure out how I'm gonna do it, take one of those classes, get online, do whatever. I can't delegate it because nobody's gonna learn Spanish but me. And I gotta decide how I'll get it done. Now for you guys, there might be whatever it is. Say Tuesday's trash day. So that's a real thing you gotta remember. Because if you don't get your trash out, then the trash guy ain't gonna pick your trash up, and you know, it'll just stack up. So you might have a friend that lives with you, or a loved one, or someone in your house, in your family, and you're not doing it because you're at work. It has to get done, so you delegate that one. A delegate is just mean you're passing on that job or responsibility to somebody else. That's managing time. You're still getting things done, but you're just saying, hey, will you do this? Maybe it's washing the dishes, maybe it's doing laundry, maybe it's doing cleaning the car, getting it gassed up, putting oil in it, doing whatever we have to do. Some things we can delegate. Shopping, right? Some things we can be a part of. Deciding who does it is even part of this decision. So the Eisenhower matrix just says, do, decide, delete, or delegate. Whatever task you're facing, whatever thing you're going through, you can just say, okay, how am I gonna get this done? What am I gonna do to make this happen? So that's the Eisenhower matrix, right? The next one you have to help you not waste time is a critical thing about blocking. That's where we went through. And this one's called the Pomodoro, which means it's an Italian sauce. And so this one right here is kind of fun because it helps you break things down into small areas. So after you've decided that you're not going to delegate it or delete it, you're actually going to do it. So now you want to do something. And let's say you are working on a project about creating a new menu. That's what we're doing in the coffee house right now. So create new menu. So to create that menu, I've got to look at the menu we have now. I've got to review the ingredients of all the things that go into it.